Hey there, are you a copywriter or entrepreneur who has the feeling you're just falling short of what your full potential is? That it seems like others around you are elevating beyond you as far as what their revenue is, but yet you still stay stuck in the same level year after year? That you feel there's something more that you need to do to be able to connect at a deeper level with the clients and those you serve, but you just don't quite know how to get it? I understand. I'm Tina Lorenz. I'm a copywriting mentor, mindset shifter, and transformational business coach. And today I'm going to share an interview with you that I did with one of my students by the name of Alice Crider. Now, Alice was in a job for over 20 years working in an office, but had a bigger vision for what she was capable of and what she wanted to do. And today she's going to share with you how she got there from working in an office to an amazing level of revenue that includes $20,000 per project. That sounds good to you. I think you're going to enjoy this interview. So let's take a listen, and I'll come back in afterwards with a couple more ideas for you. Talk to you in just a few minutes. Hi, this is Tina Lorenz. I'm a freelance copywriting mentor, mindset shifter, and transformational business coach. And today I'm with one of my really successful students, Alice Crider. And Alice does copywriting for clients, and she's segued off into a really interesting niche area of copywriting. And she's gone to $20,000 projects. So I'm going to let the cat right out of the bag. So I want to welcome you, Alice, to our call today.
Well, thanks for having me. It's always great to be with you.
Yes, it's really fun to catch up with you on what you've been doing. It's like so exciting. So why don't we just start by tell us a little bit about what you do and your business and just what all's going on for you these days.
Okay, yeah. So I have a background in book publishing. I've worked in the traditional book publishing business for over 20 years. And I was kind of getting ready to transition out of my corporate job and go into more of a freelance, just because I wanted to have more freedom in my life. And when I came across your courses, Tina, I thought, wow, that is something I could add to my repertoire. It'll enhance what I already do and expand what I do. And so learning copywriting from you has really made a difference. And so I do copywriting for some traditional publishers. I do some of their marketing copy, like copy that goes on their back covers of their books, or their marketing copy for online, things like that. And then I've also been asked to do some ghostwriting of some books, and that's been a tremendous help. And that's where the bigger money has been for me, is I sometimes make $20,000 for a project, especially if they want it done fast.
Yeah, well, this is like super exciting because a lot of times for people to understand that they really can elevate their skills to how all-encompassing copywriting is, how it gets woven into all of this. So before you joined my programs, so it sounds like you were thinking, well, one of the things you want to do is get out of the job, you know, the 8 to 5 kind of job situation. And so what did you really want to resolve with that when you joined the programs?
Well, it seemed like it's kind of common in traditional book publishing that people move around a lot, and employers tend to lay people off here and there. So, you know, you never know when your job might end in that world. And I love, you know, the whole world of books and book writing and authors and things like that, great stories and great messages. So I didn't want to move away from that completely, but I thought, you know, if I could get out on my own, I can choose the people I work with, choose the projects I work on, and create my own hours, my own time. So one of the things I love about being out on my own is, you know, I can go play with my grandchildren or go hiking or horseback riding during the day, and I can work in the evenings if I want to.
Well,
So
that I think also it just really kind of sets aside the myth of job security, you know, that kind of a thing that sometimes people are afraid to launch the entrepreneurial lifestyle, but actually to me, and see, I don't know if you agree with this, but there's so much more, actually more security in laying out our own future and creating our own businesses and being able to work when and how we want, with whom we want, not depending on others.
Yeah. And it doesn't, you know, it's a bit different because your work doesn't just fall in your lap every day, but, you know, you put yourself out there, you make yourself known. And when you get, you know, people knocking on your door, it's wonderful. And there is a great need for copywriters out there. I get requests all the time. I mean, I get emails from different places, different companies now that's saying, oh, we're looking for a copywriter. Well, you might fit our profile.
That's super
So,
exciting because I remember at one point you telling me you were booking out months ahead. So
mhm.
you can kind of turn the faucet on and off. Like I know, you're a tremendous equestrian and you do horse camping and you have grandchildren that you like to go and visit. And you just
Yeah.
got back from California, spending time with your grandkids there and going to the zoo, and all this while you're getting paid as much as $20,000, which goes way beyond the traditional monthly revenue most people would have in a job. So
Yeah.
why did you choose my programs over other programs that were out there?
First of all, I didn't see anything any better. Some of them, some of the programs out there are sort of a cookie cutter system that look to me like what you're going to create is more of the same of, what it's kind of like templates. And yours was more, no, you're actually going to have to write from scratch.
Yeah.
And I was like, that to me is more organic, more authentic, than having some kind of cookie cutter template to fill in the blanks and then put something out there. I can recognize when people are doing that online and it just doesn't land like true copywriting to me. So your program just looked like, okay, this is going to teach me how to start from nothing and write really true, authentic copy.
No, I love that because that is one of the hallmarks of my programs, I think, is a lot of people, a lot of buzz about AI and things like that right now. And I'm kind of like, yeah, well, you can't infuse copy with that true heart and soul and spirit of the messaging and the clients you're serving without
Right.
without connecting with them yourself, personally.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and if you're trying to reach real people, you have to be a real person, not a computer program.
Well, that kind of leads to my next question of, was there anything in particular in my programs that really helped you or that stood out that were really effective for you?
The homework was both intimidating and invigorating because I had to write from scratch and I had to turn it in and let you critique it. And, so giving it to you and going, oh dear, she's such an expert. She knows, she's going to rip this to shreds. But every time you sent me your feedback, I learned something and I thought, okay. And I have hung on to, I mean, sometimes I still have this little Tina voice in my head going, oh yeah, Tina would tweak it just like this. So,
Tina, do you?
yeah. So that was really amazing. And then, I had to take a test to be certified, and that made me a little bit nervous too. But, I thought, well, if I don't go for it, I'll never know if I can do it. So I went for it, and I actually got to be the first one certified in that course. So
Yeah, yeah, and your writing just got better. I mean, you're a good writer, and it got even better as you were going. And
mhm.
I think sometimes people think they have to already be like this superb writer to be able to do this, and you really don't. But what you need to understand is making that connection in a powerful way, and finding the strength of how you portray the message, how you write the messaging, and you've certainly done a fantastic job with that. And so, as we're kind of let the cat out of the bag a little bit, like I said with this, but as a result of these programs, what's been the outcome for you with this?
Well, I make really good money. And it's really satisfying to me to take on a project. And if you like jigsaw puzzles like I do, it's like you kind of have to take all these puzzle pieces and you have to put together a picture that really works. And when you're done, you actually have a product, or something that's finished. I love finishing something and being able to look at it and go, yeah, this is good. This works. And then later down the road, finding out that it worked for whoever I wrote it for. Um, it's just really fulfilling and satisfying. I
That's
love
an
it.
exciting thing too when they come back. So yes, we're selling stuff like crazy, and a lot of times people worry, what if it doesn't work? But when you go at it from the way that you learned in the programs, there's a much higher possibility for the client that it's really going to be effective. And
Mhm.
we're already talking about what kind of results that you've gotten. And I love that finishing thing. I always feel that too, like, it's just this real
Mhm.
sense of completion. And that's when you tidy up your desk, you know, and
Yes.
say, there, this one's done. You know? It's a really great feeling. And then the client's so excited when they get their copy. So we've talked a little bit about what you've been doing, but how's your life changed since you started in these programs? I mean, for one thing, you already said you quit your job, right? That was
I
that was
did.
the first thing.
Quit my job. It's been 2 years ago in August, like so next month. And it was a little bit scary stepping out of the corporate world. It's like I don't get a regular paycheck, but sometimes I get really big paychecks. And that feels really good. And the time freedom, I think, is the biggest to me. I was in my corporate job. I was working, at least 45 to 40, about 45 hours a week. And then I was also trying to do a few things on the side because I also coach some authors. So I was working all the time, and I really don't work that many hours anymore. I probably work maybe 25 to 30 hours a week now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I make better money.
So you're making more money, you're working less hours.
Mm-hmm.
And you shared with me that you also had a coaching program. You're thinking you might reopen that. And if you do that one other thing and still keep it within the realm of what kind of hours, you have the potential to double your income in this next year if you choose.
I do. Yeah.
Yes. And we're starting to get into the several $100,000 a year realm.
Yes.
So, yeah. That's that good money in anybody's book, I think. So
it is. Yeah.
What do you think? Where do you think you'd be right now if you hadn't joined these programs? Do you think you'd still be doing the 45-hour-a-week grind, or what do you think?
I would probably still be in my corporate job and wondered if they're going to keep me, and working on projects I don't necessarily care as much about. Yeah, I'd be okay.
Your horse would be lonely in their corral.
Yeah, I would only get to work. I'd only get to ride on weekends, and yeah.
You're in Colorado. I mean, you've been doing like camping trips with your on horseback with your groups and that type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, things that don't fit into the, gee, I wonder if I have 5 days of vacation I could use,
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. So, if there's anybody watching this that's on the fence about joining my programs, what do you think you'd say to them at this point?
I would say, what do you have to lose? Like, really, any entrepreneurial venture takes some effort and, some time. But once you complete a program like this and you get going, I mean, I have never looked back with any regret at all. I mean, the program I did with you paid for itself within 3 months, probably. And so that, the money's not an object really when you're investing in your future like this. And I'd say go for it. If you have any inkling at all if you feel like you have any kind of aptitude or any desire or any wish to do something like this, I would say don't hold back, and don't wait. Don't be like, oh, I'll do that in the future. Just go for it right now, because you'll be glad you did. If it takes you a year to get free from whatever, you want to get free from, or to step into the future that you want to step into, a year's investment is really not that much.
Well, the other thing is, where will you be in a year if
you don't? Yeah. What are you going to do? Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I would still be in my corporate job, and I'd still be wondering if there was anything better out there for me. Yeah. So don't put yourself there. And plus, Tina is so much fun. You just you'll have a blast. And the people I met in your program too, I'm still in touch with some of them. They're great people, and supportive, and encouraging all the way through.
We're kind of like a family, really. I mean, the connections are strong, and the support, I think, from each other, that you get in the programs. I think that's something that's really kind of remarkable as well, because there isn't any of that sort of competitive backbiting kind of deal. It's like everyone rises together, and that's one of the things I love about it as well. But
Alice, and there's room for everybody in this field to really, Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
great need out there and there's room for everybody.
and I know that's another question people have, and it's absolutely yes. Now's the time.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter where you live, how old you are, if you have previous experience. I mean, you were working in a job where you weren't copywriting. I started without any copywriting experience, so I'm just always so excited to hear from you and how you're doing, because you just keep on elevating, and I know that that's what you'll continue to do, and you're doing it on your terms. So it's just like a happy, relaxed kind of deal that you can just have fun with also. So thanks so much for being here with me today, Alice. And I know that your message is going to encourage other people as well. So thank you so much for
Oh,
joining
thank
me
you.
today.
It's great to be here.
Isn't that really impressive what Alice has been able to do? And one of my favorite things about Alice is that she's just a regular person like you and me. You don't have to be a social media superstar, anything like that, to truly elevate both your skills and your business and attract your ideal clients simply by being who you are and being able to integrate some very smart strategies into how you have those conversations with your ideal clients and how you write the copy for them. So Alice made a smart decision to move forward out of that 9 to 5 job, actually more than 9 to 5, as she said she was working at least 45 hours a week. Now she works part-time and able to truly control what her revenue is, how much she makes, how much she works, and whom she works with. Now look, I know you didn't get to where you are in life without being smart, without being able to make good decisions and to evaluate carefully what you do and how you grow your business. And I respect that. So I want you to have the time to be able to do that simply by learning more about the program that Alice was in. If that sounds like something that would interest you so that you can be smart like Alice and elevate your business as well, just click on the button on this page to learn more, and I'll speak to you again really soon. This is Tina Lorenz, and thanks for joining me today.